Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple. That's your no shit gaming news video. 3 news stories in one video with 0 faff. Cyberpunk 2077 is the most anticipated game of the year for many gamers, and you may have got excited about being invited to join a beta for the game. Unfortunately, if this has happened to you, then you may have been misled as part of a new phishing scam. Speaking through the Cyberpunk official Twitter page, CD Projekt said, "If you recently received an email claiming to be granting you beta access to Cyberpunk 2077, it's not from us. Unfortunately, there have been more of these being sent out over the past few weeks. When we contact you via email, it'll always come from a @cdproject.com address. Same goes for content creators. We always reach out directly from an @cdproject.com domain. If you are being contacted by a third party claiming to be working with us, an ad agency for example, you can assume it's not genuine. So there you go folks, if you've been offered beta access, it's total bollocks and you're better off trusting that Nigerian prince you've been messaging. Or maybe you're too busy with Anastasia69XXX to keep up with your African royalty." In the Twitter thread there is this image which is allegedly what the scammers have been using to snag unsuspecting users. If this is true, then it's one of the funniest scams I've seen in a while. For starters, the page lists something known as WhatsApp. That either means that's an app that belongs to something called What, or is What is app. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I have heard of this thing called WhatsApp. But who ever heard of a scammer making a spelling mistake? They're normally so smart. It also warns the recipient to be aware of scammers and to only use the numbers provided. The scam even mentions not demanding your money as the method to lure you in, but stealing card details is old school, man. The kids today just need you to follow their link and then they've got you right by the balls. Don't ever expect to see a beta for Cyberpunk 2077, as they also reconfirmed on Twitter that there are no plans to run one. I've been longing for the return of game demos for years now, but they do take a lot of work to put together, so it's better that time is spent making the game as good as possible. I'd rather have a good game with no demo than a bad game with a demo. People have been running scams like this since the internet took its first virtual steps, and beta scams with Cyberpunk were even spotted last year on Reddit. It's really not that long to wait until Cyberpunk comes out anyway, as it's set to release on November the 19th, which is less than 4 months away.
Wait for Cyberpunk.
Just wait!
Before that, there is meant to be a new Night City Wire livestream happening soon, but it's unclear when exactly that will be. The last episode aired on June 11th and said that the next one would be in a few weeks' time. Well, it's been over a month and it's August tomorrow, so I'd expect it sometime soon. Recently, Cyberpunk's official Twitter also shared some new concept art of one of the game's multiple districts, Pacifica. Pacifica was designed to be a lavish, money-making holiday resort, but in the world of Cyberpunk, no one can have nice things, so in-game, it's a total fucking shithole, overrun by gangs like the Voodoo Boys. That's really not that different to many places I know of. Were you one of the unfortunate souls who was duped by this obvious scam, or are you a real-life netrunner who spots this shit a mile off? And next up, Sam Fisher is one of gaming's masters of stealth. He's so good, in fact, that no one's seen him since 2013, and no, that bloody mobile game does not count.
That's not you.
The return of Splinter Cell has been hotly anticipated for years, and anytime Ubisoft makes any sort of announcement, fans are praying to hear that iconic goggles sound once more. Ubisoft knows exactly how much people want to see these games return, so instead of making a new Splinter Cell game, they're making an animated series. Variety reports that John Wick writer Derek Kolstad is working on the project, consisting of a 16-episode run across 2 series for Netflix. The John Wick films are excellent, but I'd say that's due to the action and choreography rather than the writing on the films. They're absolutely by no means poorly written, but I'd need to see more of Kolstad's writing ability to really judge, but I'm still hoping for the best, and it's gonna be pretty decent at the very least. Variety uses the word anime in the headline, suggesting that it will be a Japanese production, but nothing in their report suggests this, so this may just be them using the word and upsetting thousands of weebs everywhere. Nothing else is really known about the series, as Netflix, Ubisoft, and Kolstad all declined to comment on Variety's information. This certainly isn't the first animated series that Netflix is producing based on a video game property. It has already launched 3 seasons of Castlevania, as well as having a series for Cyberpunk, Dragon's Dogma, and Devil May Cry in development. It's unclear if Sam Fisher's voice actor Michael Ironside will return after sitting out Splinter Cell Blacklist while he battled cancer, or if Eric Johnson will retake the reins. This series has some of the right components to make it pretty good, but the best thing to come out of it will be breathing new life into the franchise so that Ubisoft may finally make a new game. The reason all Ubisoft games are pretty much the exact same thing all comes down to one man, and that guy is no longer even at Ubisoft, so hopefully we can finally get Splinter Cell Cell back. And in fact, there may well be a new game coming sooner than you might think, as the Italian voice actor for Sam Fisher may have let it slip. Luca Ward said that the conclusive episode of the franchise was coming and was meant to come out this year, but was bumped along with a bunch of other Ubisoft titles. It's important to note that apparently Luca Ward has been wrong about Splinter Cell's return in the past, as he once said a new game would be coming in 2018, but clearly that never happened. Nevertheless, I will always have my hopes up for Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher's return. During every Ubisoft stream, I'm just waiting to see those 3 green lights. And finally, from one stealth icon to another, Metal Gear Solid 5's metagame has finally been completed on the PS3. With the multiplayer mode for the Phantom Pain, players were tasked with confiscating nuclear weapons from various enemy bases around the world. If all nukes in the game were taken out of action, players are rewarded with a new cutscene congratulating them on their progress. It's not the most exciting of rewards, but after 5 years, PS3 players have finally managed to rid the world of MGS5 of nukes and unlocked this secret cutscene. The cutscene was actually visible prior to this due to a server error which reset the number of nukes to 0, but it's now been done legitimately. Ultimately, it's not that interesting a cutscene, but it's really cool to see that this long after launch, fans have worked together to destroy all the world's nukes. This is the kind of multiplayer storytelling that games are totally capable of pulling off, especially in a live service format, and it's something I'd love to see more of if all of these studios can just get their heads out of microtransactions for 5 minutes. People coming together with a common goal without screaming about each other's mothers. Although, let's be honest, who doesn't love a good Your Mama joke every now and then, huh?
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberry.
And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. I've been Henry Cooper. That's all for today. Bye for now.